Good morning. July 23rd on a Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Well, it's 11 a.m. in California. This is where I'm at. And we're given a few seconds to see here if the stream's actually working, or am I just talking out into the ether? Working, or am I just talking out into? Yeah, there it is. Working, now, when I first heard it here, I was mid-sentence. But if I rewind, then I can see it, right? Okay. Rewind, then I'll mute that. So that should be coming through okay. I'm going to do a little bit of monologue before bringing people in from Zoom. I think we're going to hear the doorbells if they start popping in, but the waiting room is currently turned on. I will give you advance notice before bringing you in from the waiting room so that you have a chance to mute your audio. Jonathan says audio and video. Okay, thank you. And I saw he hit me up in orange, so that's why I called out his message. I'll go ahead and bring up Zoom and say hello to everybody and then get into my little opening spiel. I have read through these comments. I was not responding prior to show start because I wasn't at my desk very long. And I did see, let's see. So yeah, Greg mentioning he likes to see an ASUS BIOS. TPM area, yeah, certainly. We'll go there. Let's see, there's something else I saw earlier that I wanted to touch on. So that's hello. Winter Mute the Master is in the house. I think he got that credential today because of coming up with a solution for Ken Stout's upgrade issue. What was it I was looking for? Oh, I know what it was. Something that Ken Stout said oh yeah, Ken to Greg. I got up at 11:54, so that would be a.m. after going to bed at 6. So I guess that would be 6 a.m. this morning that Ken went to bed. Well, I got up at 4. So we were uppedness. We were both up for a couple hours that overlapped. All right. So what I was referring to as my monologue is, I don't know if it can really be called that, but this room is so comfortable today. Huge, huge improvement because, can you see it through there? Right above the big beast build. Is it visible? Yeah, it is there, but you can't make it out. I've got my graphics card cooling fan installed. I installed it this morning. This room is cooler than the rest of the house. When I walk out that door, even if the air conditioner's not running, I feel a little breeze coming in the door. When I go into the laundry room where that fan is exhausting to, I feel warm air coming through there. And I've got a camera set up to show it to you. Here that is, oh, it's upside, is that? Yeah, that's upside down. The camera is actually physically upside down, but I rotated the image of that camera previously, and I guess that didn't stick. So there's right side up. So there's that cooling fan installed behind the Big Beast build. The Big Beast build is pulled out of the closet right now. So this was the best Doug-like initiative taken in quite some time, the most beneficial. I think I'm going to love it. It's a little bit noisy, but the noise cancellation in XSplit or any video software, it totally cuts that out. I tested that. Now I could actually turn it off during the live stream if I get annoyed with the noise, but I think it's probably okay. I might try turning it off partway through. Then let's come back here and see audio video good. Hello from Rick and Speedy C and Greg Guy. Interested how to turn off TPM, the new versions of ASUS. Okay, we're going to be messing around with the ASUS with the BIOS on Baby Beast, so we can actually make changes and then boot the computer up and see what effect it has. Alias, okay, so then I'll just give a quick run through the names. Hello, Tony, Dennis, Darren, Ken, Chris, Aliaj, Aliaj, repeats, Rick, Boss, Darren, Iowa Hank, Greg, Rick, I think said already, Zavi Minor, Ran, Tony Wallow, Jonathan, I got that one already. I'm trying to recognize which ones I've already said so I get through this quicker. Speedy C, alias LeBron, Wintermute, alias Singo. So hello to everybody. I am going to let you in from Zoom now in probably about 10 seconds, 15 seconds from now. So get ready to mute your audio on the on your YouTube stream. Let's see, how would I do that? How can I really let you know when you're coming in? I don't know. Here it goes. We'll see how we do. Admit. Then turn off the waiting room. And it looks like, yes, Jim was the only one there. Hello, Jim.
I find that highly unlikely that I'm the only one who was in here. They may have come and gone.
I didn't hear any doorbells.
Okay.
But then I don't think I put anything in the description of today's video as to the even the presence of Zoom. And I don't think I said it at the beginning except for, yeah, I did. Sort of. Okay, there you are. So I'm broadcasting to, Jim is seeing what I'm broadcasting out to YouTube. And I've got my picture over my frame on YouTube so that YouTube doesn't see the infinite mirror thing. So how are you doing, Jim?
Doing okay.
That was less than enthusiastic.
You know, it is what it is. Yeah, right. I'm above ground, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the wife doesn't feel like killing me today, so I'm good.
Yeah. I have a friend who routinely, when I say good to see you, his reply is it's good to be seen.
Yeah, that's like the old Cajun chef on PBS. I'm happy for you to see me.
Yeah, yeah. And then another one, I ask him, how are you? And he says, better than I should be. I think I'm quoting him right. Yeah.
That's a function of age.
Yeah, well, he was a little bit older than me. He was my flight instructor, actually.
Ah.
Hello, Jeff. And I say that
Good
to
morning.
you just as you're taking a drink.
Just woke up a little while ago. Got to get some coffee in me.
Right. You know what? I haven't had a drink of coffee, and that could be somewhere between 6 months to a year. At some point, I just decided I'd choose to stop drinking it. For whatever reason. Well, let's see. Aliaj says Jim has epic background. And I think I saw something comment about Jeff's background. Did I? Yes, Singo says not. Oh, no, that's for Jim too. Okay. Jim got it in both counts. Jeff's got his grandkids.
I'm using the Brio camera instead of the C920, which I'm just playing with it just to see if it's a better presentation.
That background is very reminiscent of a Windows 10 wallpaper or Windows 7, the beach scene with the palm tree. Of course, the waves wouldn't be moving.
No, the waves wouldn't be, that's for sure. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
You didn't recognize that at all. All right.
There's one that has somebody almost in shadow running along the beach. Is that the one you're thinking of?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that's a Windows 10 thing, I believe.
All right.
One of them anyway.
So when I punch the button now for Baby Beast, what I do move my cables around to where I do not have a monitor connected to Baby Beast. The only video connected to Baby Beast is my capture device, and that's how I can get into BIOS. So this is a live view of BIOS screen on Baby Beast.
That looks very familiar.
Yeah. And Big Beast is the same brand of motherboard, so it looks very similar. Now, somebody in chat made mention about that TPM is different. Let's see. Greg says he's interested how to turn off TPM in the new version of ASUS BIOS, and somebody else made a comment about the different. So yeah, here. Oh, it was also Greg. Newly designed TPM area, not the same as previous versions. ASUS changed it. Now, I have not spent any time preparing for where I want to go in here. I just know every time I go in here, I seem to acquire a little more understanding of it, but it's still a rather foreign environment to me. So I'm going to start out by giving kind of a high-level overview. Some people might get some ahas out of this. Other people might say, wow, that's really basic. But just starting with the menu options across the top, this one, my favorites. Well, I never told it what I wanted to be my favorite. So I'm figuring that maybe the screen is configurable, or maybe it automatically configures what appears on this panel based upon what I have gone to. I have no clue. Now, does it tell us here? Now, this help information here, I think, is just about what I'm currently highlighting. I got to use the right mouse. There, then I can go to different options. Yeah, as I go to different options, it gives an explanation, a little almost tutorial about them, about those options below. And then anytime you get to one that has that, I'm going to go back one level, that has one of these triangles here, is indicating that clicking on that is going to take you to another menu. Now, I thought it was just going to expand that, but that when I clicked there, it took me to a different screen of the detail for PCH storage, and that this did the same. So it goes back and forth. And the CSM module, same idea. So then moving on from favorites, this one would be main. So there might be some duplication, some things on main that are also in favorites. So CPU core ratio, is that, I don't know which of those others it would be on. It'd probably be on the AI tweaker. I'm guessing maybe none of these things from main is on favorites. I don't think so. Now, if I go to AI tweaker, AI, artificial intelligence?
Probably.
Or is it some other? No. Okay, so you're saying probably. So you're not saying you know that either, right?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not about to say that I know for sure.
Why do they call it AI tweaker? So I could see that it seems to me like overclocking. Tweaker kind of implies to me that this is where you go to improve performance or something like that. But it's not artificial intelligence by the definition of artificial intelligence at all. As far as I can think of the word. Now, is anything here from? Go ahead.
Might be ASUS something.
ASUS, yeah. ASUS.
I don't know.
Information.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. If I come back to, is there anything on AI tweaker that's in my favorites section? This all kind of sounds like in performance improvement stuff. ASUS improvement tweaker? I don't know. PSM CPU core cache voltage. That sounds like something that would be on a tweaker page. CPU core cache. CPU core ratio. Do the scroll bar. CPU cache. CPU core cache voltage right there. Okay, so CPU core cache voltage lives on the AI tweaker tab, and it also shows up on my favorites. I don't think I've spent any time there, so why it thinks that that's a favorite for me, I don't know. I think some people maybe have been given some information here. Let's see. Alias, it's called PTT on Intel CPUs. Iowa Hank, why do you have memory running at default 2133? I don't know. We'll get into that. I don't think that was an intelligent choice on my part. Alia's Platform Trust Technology. Hello to William. Ran Israel, A for ASUS, and the AI tweakers where you play around the settings for CPU and memory settings. Yeah, that looks apparent, but what ASUS Intelligent Tweaker? So Aliaz, did you look that up? Do you know that, or is that your guess? Overclockers like to play with the IA tweaker, internal affairs tweaker, I guess that's what that is. All right, so coming back to get, again, a high-level overview of what we got here to play with. And let's see, Iowa Hank was asking about the memory running at the default. And where was he even seeing that? I'm guessing that would have been on Bain. I think
No,
that's.
I think that was back. I think it was back on the tweaker.
Yeah, here's memory frequency 2133. So that's one place to see it, but that's not changeable there. So if I go back to AI tweaker, maybe I need to scroll up to find that. Oh, it's on the right-hand side right here. It shows right there on the right-hand panel. So that right-hand panel is showing current status. There's nothing changeable over there. So does, oh, up here, target DRAM frequency 2133. That's not clickable. That's in yellow.
No, under D, it's going to be DRAM frequency down on the menu. If you select the auto, it should give you the ability to change it.
All right. It looks like I can go a lot slower.
Yeah, well, you would want to do that. I don't know, but yeah.
Let's scroll down. Do I have the right mouse? Yeah. Let's see. I tried dragging that scroll box down and that didn't seem to want to respond. So I get down here to, yeah, so I can get up. Oh, this is going a long ways.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes. Oh, listen to this.
I think the 10 step for the Amazon gift card timer is done.
Did you make that out?
You think the 10 step for the Amazon gift card timer is done.
Okay.
Alexa, increase volume.
Would you like the volume up even more?
Yes. Alexa, stop. That was my reminder to thank Ken Stout. He sent me an Amazon gift card. So thank you, Ken. Well, now what are you doing? Alexa, stop. He never listens to me.
Doug, I stuck a link in the chat. There's a YouTube video from ASUS on using the AI tweaker.
All right.
Wow. I know you're just going to experiment here yourself, but there's ASUS has one of their own out there.
Yeah. So this scroll is really weird here. If I use my scroll wheel on the mouse, that selection bar scrolls down. If I hold the mouse button down and move my mouse up, I'm dragging that list upward. If I come over here to the scroll box and hold the mouse down, oh, I see what's doing. See, that was weird. I was putting my mouse on the scroll box and dragging down, expecting to drag the scroll box down. That doesn't do that. What it does, I'm dragging the list down. That's just a backwards kind of way for a drag operation to work. Anyway, take a look at what you put over there. Yeah, Alias says he Googled it. Great. So that is the ASUS Intelligence Tweaker. And there's a video on overclocking. I'm going to right click and open that in a new tab. So I'll get to it. And I'll pause that. That is ASUS North America. All right, very good. Come back to here and switch. I know I'm going to mess up with mouse and keyboard because I'm using both of them while looking at Big Beast. Let's see, chit chat, need to enable XMP. So I'm guessing that XMP is currently not enabled.
Yeah, but I don't think ASUS calls it XMP. I think they call it something else.
All right. Yeah. Oh, same thing here with the mouse. Oh, this is very helpful because that scroll bar is really hard to get to. If I hold the mouse down, I just drag the screen up. Oh, I like that now. Yeah. Oh, that's very easy. Okay. So it might be right in there somewhere, but I want to keep with the overview here a little bit of the BIOS setup screen. It does not seem to have anything to do with intelligence. Probably came up with that one because it sounded smart. IT buzzword. You can mess up a system by playing if not careful. What is rated speed memory? Oh, that's installed in it? I'll have to go look that up. And change the memory base frequency in the main selection. Okay, over here on main, the speed frequency. There's memory frequency. That's not clickable. None of this stuff upwards is clickable. So I'll drag the screen up. I don't see any place there to change the frequency of the memory.
You won't.
Yeah,
It's not there.
I don't think that's where it is. Aliaz regarding my Echo device never listens to us guys. Get my G scale 3200 to 33. Won't boot any higher. DOCP. I don't know what they're referring
That's
to.
that's what Asus calls XMP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't. That drove me crazy the first time I used an Asus board. I'm looking through every part of the freaking menu system to find where XMP is, and it wasn't. That's not what they use. They call it DOCP. Drove me crazy.
Okay. So I'm trying to understand Jonathan's comment. DOCP. I think you need to put AI overclock tuning to manual for to manual setting. Okay, I get it. I thought he was referring to the user's manual somehow, telling me to RTFM. Hello, Ken Stout.
Morning.
Morning. You're just, wow, you're a bowl of energy, aren't you?
Only been up barely 3 hours. Give me a couple more minutes.
Well, I assume you heard my thank you for the Amazon gift card. It's totally not necessary, but appreciate it.
I did not, and you're welcome.
Okay.
I was driving home.
You didn't hear it. Okay.
No.
Well, I had my Amazon Echo device. I'm not going to say her name because we're not on speaking terms right now. But it rang a reminder to remind me to thank you because I knew I might forget it by the time the show's going. So coming back to the BIOS utility. So go back to AI tweaker. Let's see, AI overclock tuning to manual. Oh, AI overclock tuner to manual. Or
XMP. Boom. That's interesting. They may have changed it. That's weird.
Would it be XMP2 automatically, or is that maybe not necessarily right?
I no idea.
I'll wait till somebody responds to that point in chat. So moving on to the advanced tab. So this has lots of things that, by our previous experience, should take us to a submenu for each one of these. And so you can go into the submenu and then click up here at the top to go back. Okay, whole bunch of items here called advanced. Now there's trusted computing.
Yeah.
That would be the TPM type settings. Here's TPM 2.0 UEFI spec version. Select the TCG2 spec version support, which is what we're currently on, TCG2. TCG_1, the compatible mode for Windows 8, Windows 10, TG_2, support the new TCG2 protocol and event format for Windows 2. So I'm for Windows 10 or later. So I'm presuming TCG is their acronym for TPM.
That's what I would make an assumption on.
Yeah, and then TCG1_2 would be the earlier version that's known as, actually TPM 1.2, I think is what it was called. So they're calling it 1_2 because what? Because Intel has a patent on the decimal point.
Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
We don't want to copy the other guys too much, so instead of a 1.2, we're going to say 1_2. All right, I'm going to come over and fix my picture-in-picture. Hello, Alex.
Doug, TCG stands for Trusted Computing Group. They're the one who make the TPM specification.
Oh, all right.
Hello, Doug.
Hello, Alex. Good to see you. If he responds with "it's good to be seen," that means he was watching at that time during my intro. Okay, coming back. So that there's a TPM stuff. Now, some of this other stuff is I don't think it's actually related to that. The two things that I'm aware of for Windows 11 is something weird going on there. TPM and secure boot.
Yeah,
secure boot. All right, so moving on, we're probably going to be coming back to that. Monitor. So this is the things that we're going to be monitoring, like CPU temperature, motherboard temperature, chipset, fan speed, and so on. I'll hold down the mouse and drag the screen upward. Modify voltages. No, this isn't modify. These are all monitoring, right? Oh, I can choose to ignore rather and not monitor those. Yeah, because that's a thing I would be wanting to do. What? No. CPU temperature, LED switch. You know what? One of the things that Carrie's mentioned from time to time. Oh, I guess that was criticism about cases not having a storage monitor light, a light to indicate drive activity.
Yes.
But that's not going to be a setting in BIOS. Either the case has that light or it doesn't.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Then move on to. Now let's see. You know what? I'm going to take a quick catch up with chat. Let's see. Hit the ones in orange. So I'm going to start reducing just to ones orange. Alias More C by Ken. Oh, or ocean background, I guess. Let's call your Echo device the woman. Okay. Or the one, or could I, how about my better half? Yeah, whatever. Dennis, press F7 and go back to the first BIOS page. DOCP is on the left side. Okay, I'll jump right back on that because I won't remember it. F7 goes back. Okay, so is F7 jump me back? Oh, I got to do it on the right keyboard. F7, I think I need function F7. Yeah, function F7. Oh, that goes to...
there we go.
That goes to easy mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, up here at the top it says easy mode. So this gives the summary information of the whole thing. So I already had it on advanced mode. I'm going to turn off picture-in-picture. Down here in the bottom right, it shows advanced mode F7. So F7 will toggle to back to advanced mode, and then here's the easy mode. I'm going to go back for some other chat comments. And Stout, you're very welcome to both of us. Asus play games when you get to know one way, they change it.
Yes, they're following the grocery store example. Once you figure the store out, we change it.
Oh yeah, that drives me nuts. XMP1 board optimized timings. XMP2 is default XMP timings. Oh, that's interesting. So XMP1 sounds like it's letting the board, the motherboard, choose the optimization.
Yeah, decide what it wants to run at.
XMP2 is the default. That seems a little backwards to me. It seems like
well, no, the first one, the board is negotiating or setting what it wants. The second one, it just takes what the XMP profile is embedded in the RAM itself.
Huh. Oh,
that's my guess.
Oh, okay. Well, the default XMP that's embedded in the RAM chips themselves. Interesting. Okay, it's kind of scanning through those and going to the orange alias. You can call it my better one, or you can call her Mrs. Smith. XMP is disabled currently. Easy mode says XMP instead of DOCP. So on the easy mode, I'm looking through this to see where we see something about XMP. Right here, XMP disabled. And nope, wrong mouse. I think are people seeing me point with either mouse? Maybe they're only seeing me when I point with
Well, those of us that run two machines like you do can relate to, oops, wrong mouse.
Yeah, okay, so I'm looking at the stream now and I'm seeing that the video only displays my Baby Beast mouse, which makes sense. You should not be seeing the mouse that I'm using in XSplit. So that is changeable there. It can enable it. In easy mode, you don't have to go to advanced mode to enable it. So there we got a CPU fan. Says IO pump not applicable. This computer does have an all-in-one. But there's these other devices in there to monitor the RGB and fans, and there's too many devices for them to monitor, and so I don't think they're connected to the motherboard. And the case fans, the same story. I've actually when I have all the panels connected through the hubs that are in the computer, I can't control any of the lights. So I switch the cables around physically when I want to change the settings for the lights, which is not often. Just not me. So we had some temperature information. We got some storage information. Intel Rapid Storage Technology. Now, this is one of the things that kind of bothers me in BIOS. When there's only two choices, it can be difficult to figure out which one of these is selected right now. Is it on right now or is it off right now?
Imagine it's off.
Intel Rapid Storage. There's nothing on here that clearly says it. Okay, when I click on one, it highlights that one. If I click again on that one, it still highlights that one. So the red is the selected choice. Now, when we first came in here, I think it was gray and black. I don't think we saw red.
Might have been gray to indicate a default.
Yeah. So if I go click on default down here, it's going to change to BIOS defaults, but I don't know what else I've already changed away from that. Oh, my description of the fans and the RGB, that was totally wrong.
Yes, because Baby Beast isn't doing any of that.
Right. Baby Beast doesn't have any fans or RGB. There's a CPU fan, but has no case fan, no all-in-one cooler. But my comments were pretty much applicable to Big Beast. All right. Storage information over here, easy system tuning. Now this is something I've played with a little bit. Right now it's set on normal. I can change that to fast tuning or power saving. So that's the middle setting. If I click on this right arrow, go to the fast tuning. If I click the right arrow again, it's kind of wrapping around the back side to the low setting. So think of it as the left-hand side is the low, the power saving, power saving, and then the middle setting is normal, and then the right-hand setting is fast tuning. Now, the reason I'm describing that left, right, and middle is because that's the way it is when you come. Whoops, wrong keyboard. No, that was wrong keyboard. This one. Go back to here. There was those clocks around here somewhere, wasn't there? Oh no, I know what I'm thinking. Yeah, that was just on the easy mode, but it looks a little different on Big Beast. On Big Beast, it shows 3 clocks side by side, and you can click on which one you want, if I remember that correctly. So if I want to try speeding it up, the easy method, I just go to there, I suppose. And that's probably not going to actually implement until I, do a save?
Yep.
Yeah, there's no apply there. So before I do that, I'm going to continue on the overview. Boot menu is F8. Now, I think that might only happen when I'm in the BIOS here. I don't think F8 responds during boot time. I'm not certain I'm saying I'm accurate about that, but let's go back and finish those other tabs. So the advanced tab, I got through as much as I wanted to for now, and then we were looking at the monitor tab, and then go to the boot tab. And on multiple occasions, I found a method in here somewhere to choose what I wanted it to boot to. When I wanted to boot to a thumb drive just this time, and I think I wanted to say it was in the boot override section, but I recently tried that and it didn't work for me. And I think if I click, for instance, on this, I'll plug in the thumb drive. I was wanting to boot on my Windows 10, Mac Cream Reflect thumb drive. That's what it was. And the last time I attempted to do that in here, I couldn't find where to get that to work.
This sounds so familiar. The awkward silence. I love it.
Lost my Crickets audio file.
I still have mine, but I can't play it on his stream.
Copyright violation?
Well, it's a cricket sound. I don't know that it would necessarily be a copyright violation. It's another discussion.
I was figuring you would just automatically carry the ball while I was away from the microphone, but
Yeah, I'm still waking up. Give me a couple more minutes.
All right, so let's see. So now I put that in, and I probably have to, and maybe I can just go back to another page and will it read it? Come back to boot. Will it read it? No. Is there a refresh?
No, but if you hit F8 at this point, I'm not sure what it'll do.
Yeah. Well, we might try that in a little bit. Okay. Well, that's. But anyway, the last time that I tried to boot from the thumb drive, it did show up in this list, but when I clicked on it, it wasn't giving me the option to boot from there. So anyway,
Wintermute says that he thinks it lists the drives that are plugged in at the time of the boot. If you plug something else in, you would need to reboot it in order to populate the list.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's entirely believable. Now this panel over here has stayed the same on each of these pages, hasn't it? On the right-hand panel, checking, yeah, that right-hand column stays the same. So that was boot, and then tool. ASUS Easy Flash 3 utility, so that's for flashing BIOS. Secure erase. Click on that. Got to be some. So the only thing that I can do is secure erase on is that drive. It doesn't offer a secure erase on my long-term data drive that's in there. I want to get out of here. Let's exit. Yeah, I'd like to have that left arrow back thing in the upper left corner rather than this exit, because I'm not wanting to do that. I would think that I'd probably have to click on that to actually tell it to do a secure erase. May degrade over time. Secure erase completely cleans. Warning, ensure that you run secure erase compatible. Yeah, I'm going to hope that clicking exit here isn't actually going to start it. Do you want to leave secure erase? Yes. Don't want to do it. I would have liked for that to be consistent with the other way that these menu screens work in here, instead of a different method of exiting. Setup animator. I'm not
It's a
going to go.
crap out of me.
Yeah, geez.
That
Oh,
takes you right into Blender, and then you have cartoons running across your screen.
Well, I think that actually took me into it. I think I'm still on the tool tab. And this says ASUS SPD information. That's got nothing to do with animation that I can recognize. Oh, somehow I got clicked into this item. ASUS user profile. So I guess that would mean that you can do different settings within the BIOS utility and then save them with a profile name.
Yeah, it's handy if you're overclocking.
Yeah. I want to be able to easily switch from one group of settings to another. That's interesting. ASUS SPD information that says something about, okay, so I'm on DIM A1 right now. So somebody was asking the speed of the memory. So it looks to me like this tells us that the memory's native speed is 2133.
Well, that's the base speed of all memories, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, somebody asked, what is the speed of my memory?
Part number's got 3,000 in it. I'm wondering if that's a reference to this.
Oh, frequency here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's in XMP1. Well, that's the one that was the board configured XMP1. XMP2 was the default XMP, and there's no number there, implying, based upon what's been suggested so far, that this memory board doesn't have a encoded frequency. Just spitballing there. Oh yeah, we're thinking of Baby Beast here. This Baby Beast is just what, 32 gigabytes? Those are 16 each, aren't they?
Yes.
Where is that shown? Oh, right here, module size. Okay, got it. And then on exit, this is something that I like. When I do save changes in exit, it lists here all the things that I've changed during this session. And I typically take a photograph of that, so that if something goes wrong, I can go back and change it back. All right, catch up with chat.
Doug, I looked up the part number on your memory.
Yeah.
At the D-Skill site. The XMP setting for the memory is 3,000.
3,000. So that's what the manufacturer says we should be using for that memory, right?
Right. That's what it's. That's what they warranty or say that they are have tried it at that speed. Tested speed for XMP is 3,000.
All right. What's interesting, that's this tool, this tab called Tool. The only thing there. Oh no, I'm sorry. Tool has all of this. Okay. So secure ace animators. So this screen here that tells us about memory is not for making adjustments to memory. If we want to make adjustments to memory, it's back on AI Tweaker.
Yep.
DRAM timing. And then select the rate.
DRAM frequency, maybe. The timings look like numbers you would see with the CL numbers.
Did you see something in here that said frequency?
It's
Am I not seeing it?
One screen back. You have to go into
one screen back. Oh, it was a different option on that. I wanted DRAM time. Oh, frequency up here. Okay, there. That's the one that we did.
Yeah, frequency is on auto.
So what did they say it should be?
3,000.
3,000. All right. So then we'll go ahead and make that change. Okay. Let me go back and catch up more on chat.
Can I ask a quick question?
You can.
If you would have done the same thing on the easy mode, put it into XMP, would that have made that same change?
I think so. We'll go take a look at that.
Yeah, but
So-
you had another screen where you had XMP 1 and 2 as well. So the question
Yeah.
is, do you change the frequency manually or you just set the XMP? Or maybe there's more than one way to do the same thing.
All right. So I'll come back here and change that back to auto, and then go back to F7 to go to easy mode. Oh, that was XMP. So that wasn't a speed change. So if I choose enabled there, oh,
Yeah,
XMP,
it shows you what the profile is.
yeah. So it looks like it's automatically taking it to 3000. All right. So now go back to advanced mode and see frequency here is saying 2933. It changed it to 2933, not 3000.
But was
Is that a little
2933
weird?
was not one of them in the list though. Was it?
Yeah, so what that enabling XMP says DDR4 3000, but over here that changed it to 2933, and 2933, I think, as Jeff said, not actually in the list.
Well, you'll have to look, but I didn't see it the first time.
Oh, yeah, it is. Well, it's there now. But look, on these other ones, there's no intermediates. So let me go do something. This is a little bit OCD here. I'm going to go back and disable here.
A little bit, he says.
Are you challenging me on that? So what that did is that changed this to auto. So now is that 2933 in this list, or did it only appear there when we made that change on the other screen? No, it's still there. So now I'll choose that here and then go back to easy mode. It does not show XMP as enabled. Is there something in the advanced mode where there's a separate menu option here for enabling XMP?
Yeah, there was one for XMP 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's right. So where was
I
that
don't
at?
remember where it was.
Ratio mode. Maybe.
When you set XMP, does that do something else besides change the frequency?
Yes, it changes the timings.
Okay.
So you can separately change the DRAM frequency, but you're not actually changing the timings at the same time. XMP takes care of it all at once.
Okay. That
Okay,
makes sense.
so I'm going to enable XMP here and then switch back over here. I think it'll be easier to spot. Yeah, it's here's in the AI overclock tuner, and it put it on XMP1.
Yeah.
Which we would have been expecting because we saw on that other screen that XMP2 had no speed setting at all.
Yeah, it wasn't listed.
All right. Well, I clearly am learning things here.
Now, which is interesting since at the memory's website, it implies that the 3000 is set in the memory module.
That's where a XMP profile lives. It lives in the memory module.
But XMP2 is supposed to go to what's in the memory. And it's not even,
Well, we're assuming that. We don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I think that was an earlier suggestion.
That
but-
yeah, it was a suggestion. It was.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
that we can make an assumption.
all right. Good
We're not
point.
the engineers who designed the bloody thing in the first place.
Wait, I thought, Jim, what? You're not? Okay. Hello,
No, Captain. I cannot change the laws of physics for you.
Hello to Josh and hello to Chris.
Hello, guy.
Good to have you on screen. All right, coming back and trying to keep up here. Zvi, question mark, by using SMP, will it set to 3000? Okay, yeah. So what, yeah, we've demonstrated that apparently since
Well, it's
he
set
put
to
that question.
2933.
2933. Yeah, not 3000. Now is he actually, no, that wasn't XMP2. Do we have the option in there to set for XMP2 and then see what number it
You can try it.
displays that at?
You could try it, but under the whatever section it was that you had the information on the memory module itself,
yeah,
at the bottom, XMP2 didn't have any listing whatsoever.
right. So if we switch to
my initial reaction is that you're not going to get anything out of that.
yeah, or it might not change at all. It might just leave it on what it's currently showing. The easy mode would have made the memory speed 3000 when you do a change and exit at the exit menu. Yes. AI overclock tuning 2933 may be a limit of the memory itself, but the manufacturer's website says 3000. Jeff, right? Or who was
Yes,
it?
it says tested speed for XMP is 3000.
Okay,
And
so
it
they
also gives the latencies. It also says Intel XMP 2.0 ready.
all right. So maybe they tested it to 3000, but within the memory itself, it might be coded or programmed to select 2933.
Yeah, to give
So
you a
there's
little.
some margin.
You also have to keep in mind that you're setting everything about the memory. You've got DRAM frequency, you've got clocks, you've got multipliers. It may be that right now the correct multiplier isn't being applied in the motherboard, which is why it's saying 2933.
Oh,
It may change on reboot.
all right.
There was another screen talking about frequency multiplier someplace,
All right.
wasn't there?
There probably was.
Apps. So since we're right here, I'm going to try something here. If I change this to XMP2, I'm wondering is this next line going to change?
Nope.
Okay. Now, if I do, oh, that's interesting. though. There's only one choice in here.
3000.
So that's 3000. That is a change, isn't it?
And that's what should be embedded in the memory according to the website.
Okay.
Remember, XMP1 was letting the board pick everything.
Oh, down here we have the 2933. Up here we have 3000. So this is on a line called XMP. So I am coming back here. I'm going to disable XMP here. Come back to advanced. And okay, that XMP line isn't even visible now. If I change from auto to XMP1, now we have this XMP line that says 3000. If I come back to auto,
So you get to 2933, which is what the board picked for XMP1.
It changes several things in here. When I change to XMP1 or XMP2, several of these choices down here change. And then XMP2, come back to auto. And if I go straight to XMP2, it changes to apparently the same settings as XMP1. Switching from XMP2 to XMP1, I didn't see anything else change, but there's all this other stuff down here that might have changed as well. Voltage to the memory, does that change based upon these settings? Going to auto, did I really pay attention to what the voltage was? Oh, these all changed to auto. And auto apparently is 1.2 volts. Go to XMP1.
It's 1.35.
Yep.
1.35. Okay, well, that's making sense. Now, XMP2, is it also 1.35?
Yes, it was, I believe.
Yes. I somehow feel a persuasion towards XMP1, mainly because it was populated with numbers on one of those screens that we looked at, and XMP2 was not.
Well, it's letting the board decide what it thinks it can handle.
Yeah, I think so. And hellos, Jonathan, voltage goes from 1.2 to 1.35. Okay. I'm keeping caught up pretty well there. Ken, are you proud of me?
I am.
All right. Now, what else do we got? Look at. So this we are making a change to Baby Beast in regards to XMP. Now, what benchmark tests would we be interested in seeing in each of those different modes to see the difference? More specifically, or more interestingly, what actual performance could I observe? Now, I recently had changed the BIOS settings on Big Beast to the slow side. What did they call that on easy settings? Yeah, normal or power saving. Yeah, I changed it. It wasn't called those names. I don't remember what words that it used, but it more sounded like slow, medium, and hot. Cool, medium, and hot, something like that. I don't remember. But when I had it on the slower, what you might say more conservative settings, I had some buffering issues. When I was particularly noticed it with playing Fortnite with Dennis, where I'm live streaming to YouTube and Facebook and Twitch, and used to have Zoom open, but I'm also playing my live stream on Big Beast and playing Dennis's live stream on Big Beast for monitoring purposes and to display his screens. And I did have some times when I was in game and I wasn't able to control my character because it was herky jerky or hesitating or just not responding. And then when I sped it back up, those symptoms went away. So I did experience performance. Now, something that I'm kind of have on my mind to do somewhere down the road is to have a Adobe Premiere or Adobe After Effects project created and then render it with both settings and see.
Yeah, you'll see a difference.
See
Don't know
that.
how much, but you'll see some.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to find out how much. And that's not an important thing to me as a computer consultant for my business clients. With one caveat, there's one place where it is. I have had some clients, and I'm thinking of, well, one in particular, maybe a second, but I can't quite remember who it is. But one person I can remember it, has often complained about the performance of her computer, and it's the same model computer as several others in the office. And I thought, well, even these manufactured computers, they typically call it something like turbo mode in BIOS setup. And I was thinking, gee, I wonder if that is set slow. And there's also power management in BIOS of major manufactured computers. And the thing that I have noticed is that when you go into Task Manager on those computers, onto the Performance tab, where it shows the CPU utilization, there, depending upon your settings in BIOS, you can see that locked on 100%, or you might, excuse me, you might see it locked on 100%, and you might see it drop down to 80, 70% and come back up to 100%. Thank you, Jeff. So you might see
Yeah.
he'll be all right. No, we're not going to send an ambulance for him yet. He's all right. You might see it go down to 80, 70%, come back up to 100, depending upon what workload. But then you also will have settings where you see it go over 100%, 110%, 120%. So that would be some kind of turbo mode. So the CMOS setup settings might have a substantial impact on the end user's sense of whether the computer's working zippy or whether it's sluggish. I'm interested in experimenting with that on my clients' computers. I see nothing more in chat to catch up with, so I'm triple clicking on the last comment I see there and come back to our project at hand. I'm not really interested in changing language. Boy, that's going to mess with somebody, right? There was back in the days when our computers were booting to DOS and I was in a PC users group, and we had our bulletin board where you use a phone modem and you dial in to the club's bulletin board computer.
Old school, man. Old school.
Old school, before CompuServe, before Google. And we had some fun utilities in there, and there's one that when you're in a DOS program, maybe Lotus 123 or Microsoft Word, whatever it might be, and the letters on the screen in their document, the individual letters would just start randomly falling down the screen. So they're trying to work on their document, and it might be a hotkey sequence or stuff, and letters just start falling down the screen. Then another one at a DOS prompt, somebody types in a command, and this utility was called insult or something to that effect. And what would happen, no matter what they typed, it would reply with some kind of really bizarre, weird insult. No foul language in a sense, but you blithering, slimy ball of whatever. Just hilarious stuff. All right. That was a little diversion I didn't anticipate doing. Moving on. Date and time kind of obvious. So we've been through those menus. We've made changes to memory settings. Now, what about the automated overclocking or performance enhancements? Here's ASUS performance enhancement. Enabled or disabled? I'm going to guess if I choose enabled, we might see some other selections below that change. Enabled? Nope.
No.
CPU.
The performance enhancements have to do with it will try when needed, it will try to overclock the CPU.
All right. So my curiosity is to, for instance, check that Task Manager Performance tab. You know what, I've mentioned that a couple times. I'm just going to go ahead and bring it up on screen over here. Control Shift Escape. Wrong keyboard. All right, and then drag it over to the monitor that I'm displaying right now up here on the Performance tab. So what I have seen is that this number over here, 100%, will change depending upon if you have your BIOS set in a way that allows for that. And also, let's see, I think the other place you would see the change for that would be Resource Monitor on the CPU tab. Those are all percentages. I think there's a place, it might just be hardware info, where I was seeing the megahertz, gigahertz speed change.
Well, you'll see that in the Task Manager. If you look at the CPU tab on there, it shows you what the thing's running at.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay, right here. Yeah, somehow I zoned out and didn't see it. So that's 3.69 up here. The CPU is a 3 gigahertz CPU, but right now it's running higher than that. Up here it's showing 100%. That's not the place that I was recollecting, is it? I don't know, it might be there. I'll explore with that a little more off of stream. I lost my click. This all looks like chit chat. Speed value will change depending upon on the overclock.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe that's right on target. So that's something I'm interested in experimenting with. But now, okay, so we're just getting on to here. This part up here, XMP, that was regarding memory. CPU graphics frequency 1200. Was that a... This is just information up here. These items up here are not clickable. CPU turbo mode, 5.1. So that's telling me it can go all the way up to 5.1 gigahertz when it feels the need.
Now that may or may not have changed when you hit the ASUS performance enhancement.
Yeah. So let's see if that changes back if I disable. No. Yeah, maybe this is target CPU turbo mode frequency 51, but that doesn't mean we're currently set to achieve that, maybe. Now, okay, here's the 2933 target DRAM. Did that change as we were making changes here on XMP? I changed this to auto. Yes, that changed to 2133. So changing elements here is changing the statuses up here. CPU core ratio. So that would be, so syncing all cores, that's interesting. When I've gone into hardware info, I can look at the gigahertz speed of each core. And they were always different. And some cores were slowed down because they weren't being worked hard now, and some of them were showing higher speed. So I'm wondering, does the sync all core force them all to run at the same speed even if they're not being used? Now that did make a change to the items below. All these items below change when I change these core ratios. And those are making changes to RAM settings, but this is a CPU setting here. Well, maybe it didn't make change to the settings in those fields, but rather changed what fields appear. I think that's the change, because this 2933, I think, stays in place. Sync all cores, yeah, all it did was it added another field, this all core ratio limit. I think that's all, the only change that was made. Yeah, just added that additional field. And then this one is sync all cores by core usage, or CPU core ratio by core usage. And they're all set to auto, and I can't change those. That's interesting that it would list them all individually if they're not individually exchangeable. This is the computer enthusiast in me now, not the computer consultant side of me.
Yeah, see, this is the part of the thing where I go, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is the first time I've gone through this, looked through this.
Yeah. It's from the standpoint of, I don't care as far as if I'm building somebody a computer, I don't care about this.
Right. Now, I would care if I can demonstrate to myself that it makes a difference in how the computer feels when browsing the web. I mean, I've had the experience, and you guys all have too, walking up to a computer and have multiple tabs open, click from one tab to another, or even type in a site, and it feels sluggish or zippy. would this make a difference? And if so, then maybe I do care about this stuff. But I've never spent any time looking into it. All right, what do we got? We're a little over an hour. There is some new orange in chat. Hit me up in orange if you want to be sure I read what you have. Oh, Hank, surely Carrie installed 3200, 3600 megahertz memory at a minimum. I don't, it would be a mistake to make assumptions as to what Carrie installed in this, because his objective when he built this computer was building an extreme computer on speculation. It wasn't earmarked for me at that point. And probably buying, well, like the memory has RGB built into it. Okay, well, maybe you got a sale price on RGB memory that wasn't the highest available memory. So, and it's an i9. He could have gone higher on that if he was just trying to build the most expensive computer he could. That wasn't really the objective. And also he kind of hinted a couple times about maybe we'll swap out some parts over the years and play around with it. Let's see, Dennis, it adds a CPU setting, also just that. Oh, Dennis reported to me on an audio anomaly, a sharp jabbing instantaneous noise. He sent me a clip of that. That is helpful to me. If any of you see that happening, you can use that clip technique and send it to me by email. I do welcome that kind of input. Iowa Hank, you would need to enter the core ratio manually. Proceed at your own risk. Well, I do it. Well, it is at my own risk. I'm not expecting you guys to take the heat. All right, moving on. If you want to take advantage of XMPU, you have to change the frequency to auto. If you want to take advantage of XMPU, if you want to take advantage of XMP, you have to change the frequency to auto. All right. All right. Somebody left. Had enough of this. I don't even know who it was. Oh, it's Josh.
I think it was Josh, and Alex probably booted him off.
Oh. How could he do that? He'd have to do that remotely.
He did. He did
All
because
right.
Josh was basically asleep.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, some people get a little too free and relaxed with their appearance in Zoom. So do let me know if that's going on and we'll drop them out.
I didn't log him off, so it almost had to be Alex, unless he's got a third party we don't know about that can do it.
All right. Okay, so I was experimenting with what in here. I think I was trying to understand here. Some of these deal with CPU, some of these deal with memory. And when you make a change, this has to do with memory on XMP. And if I change this one to, I think I'm starting to get a little rummy.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, maybe I need to step away from this. Step away from the rabbit hole. Got the 2933. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and restart this thing.
Well, you're going to save this stuff first, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but that happens as part of restarting it. So I come over here to save changes and exit. It displays the changes that I made, and I take a photograph of this so that just in case it goes badly. And then I could also start implementing the profiles.
So I have an update on what happened to Josh.
All right.
He was not logged off. They lost power, so I got to send him the credentials in email
Oh.
so he can get on his iPad.
Oh,
Or I
alright.
could forget to do that and we don't have to watch it.
So how was it that he was asleep and he realized that he was no longer on? Oh, I guess he had his eyes closed maybe, and he was just listening.
Possibly.
So fix the picture-in-picture.
Oh, God.
All right. Where was that profile? Oh, it was on tool maybe. No. Or go back to the, yeah, user profile. Profile 1 status, user profile. I gotta somehow enable, oh, I gotta put in a profile name maybe in order to save one. Input, at the right mouse, yeah. If I start type, yeah, it does. Okay, so I'll call this overclock. And even though that might not technically be what I did, but a little bit. Or high performance, I could call it anything. For now, I'm going to stick with that. Turn off the picture-in-picture so I can see what's going on here. Save to profile number 1. Okay, I could save that to a different profile slot. And then here's load save profile from or to a USB drive. All right, well, that would make sense because this could, if I brick the system where it won't boot to the hard drive, that could be a useful thing to do. This is showing, is this showing different dates of profile of, what is
No,
this showing?
it's reading the drive in the system.
Oh, yeah. FS7. Is it reading a folder on my drive called FS7? I'm not aware of an FS7.
No, I think that's an assignment that the board does to the drive itself.
Yeah, so there's a SanDisk, that's the thumb drive. Oh, these are all the folders on the thumb drive.
Okay.
Oh, so maybe that thumb drive might have the name FS7 assigned to it.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
That could be. So it's asking where I want to save that because I do have that thumb drive plugged in right now. Is it wanting me to click on something? The root is fine with me. Looks to me like it's currently set for the root. Do you want to exit ASUS user profile? No. Control F2, save the current BIOS setting. F2 to save as a new CMO file. Well, that's interesting. F2. Save as a new file on the USB drive. Okay. Use the same name. Overclock. So that's saving it with that name. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, so now exit user profile, yes. So that just saved the profile so that I could load it once I get back into the BIOS utility. But as far as restarting the computer, this is saving to the live real-time settings. Okay. Okay, there. I already took my photo. And then restarting. All right. So we got the answer on who logged Josh off. Nobody. His power went out. Leave that all alone if I was you. You're not me. I fell asleep. That's why I was late. Pittsburgh, PA has storms. Hi, neighbors. Can you tell I'm Ned Flanders fan? USB drive attached. Looks like Win 10 installed. No, it was a Macrium Reflect USB. Chuck, what are you chuckling at, Ken?
Hi, diddly ho do, neighbors. That's
that's
a Simpsons reference.
Yeah, I knew that was over my head, so I didn't even try to understand it.
That's the Simpsons ultra-religious neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. All right.
Ned Flounders.
Yep.
All right. Actually, Rick Lake's actually hardcore overclocking is where I learned a lot about overclocking. I know how to make the changes, but I choose not to. I see. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with it unless I had a reason to. Even when I might be doing, if it might improve rendering in those video programs, I'm usually not too concerned about it. It's not I'm not on the clock for 8 hours in a day trying to achieve as much as I can. I would usually start a rendering when I'm going to walk away to go have a meal or something. So I probably don't care about it saving a little bit of time, but I am curious. And if I weren't doing a YouTube channel, I would not be spending time on it at all. I think it could make interesting content for computer enthusiasts. And in my opinion, anybody who watches my channel or Carrie's channel or Ken's channel is different. My channel or Ken's channel, you have to have some element of computer enthusiast. You're not just a computer technician. A professional computer technician might walk away from it at the end of the workday and do nothing else with computers. If you spend time watching YouTube videos about computers when you're not being paid to, then you have a little bit of computer enthusiast, by my definition. And if that troubles you, seek therapy.
Working on the computer is my therapy.
Yeah, but it may not trouble you that I hold to that definition of computer enthusiast.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah. All right, so here we're, use the right mouse, Doug, trying to log in on Baby Beast. And then I don't even know what Task Manager was showing. Performance tab, and then it's came into GPU. Showing 3.8. Yeah, okay, showing 3.8 up here in the upper right, but down here on the speed showing 4.77. Welcome back, Josh. Let me see if I need to
we want power.
fix my picture-in-picture here.
I found one suggestion. Have you set XMP on now, Doug? I had to go away for a little bit.
Yeah, we had it on.
Is it still on?
Yes.
One suggestion I thought how to confirm it's working is just to run CPU-Z.
All right. Yeah. And well, let's look to see what the memory tab shows here. Cache, committed, page total, non-page in use here, 2933. So the default speed was 2333, is that right?
2133.
2133. So now it's showing
it's working.
Yeah, so that shows us it's working.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the utilities, most of this information that comes from utilities should be available within the system itself. It's just that the utilities gives it to us in a more perhaps convenient way or combining information. So if I come down here to my resources folder and CPU-Z, and CPU-Z x64, yes to user account control. Let me do a little more experimenting with zoom it. Sys internals.
I never put in the power when my other monitor went out. And then I realized Doug wasn't talking. I was like, uh-oh, what happened?
Okay. So then
You were having a nightmare.
There. Now, when I move the mouse, the whole screen scrolls around. I bet there's a way to.
The nightmare will be if when the power comes back on, if he tries to turn the computer on and the computer doesn't come back on. That will be the nightmare, Ken.
Oh, he was responding to Ken. Okay. Right click zooms it out. Control 1 zooms it in. Control 1 zooms it out. But I can't do any clicking when I'm zoomed in. I need to tinker around with that off camera to figure it out better. So I can't click on other tabs while I'm zoomed in like this. So I want to get to the memory tab. Well, that's not very informative.
Yeah, speed. SPD next to it.
Oh,
So you need to select the slot because it's probably in slot 2 and 4.
there's only 2 slots.
Okay, well, that's weird. I wonder why it's not showing.
Do I need to do something to make it scan or check or something? I don't.
No, it should already be there. That's weird.
Yep.
There's this bench.
Running off of my phone's hotspot.
I didn't understand that, Josh.
I said I'm running off of my phone's hotspot at the moment.
Okay.
I could be alright though.
All right. No, not really on point. So there's processor information, and it is still running that bench. There, it's finished, I think. Going back to memory. Yeah, I don't see anything populating there. Does somebody in chat telling us what we're missing? Rand says Control+4 give you live zoom and zoom it. All right, I'll try that. Nothing else there. It's saying go make that RAM smoke. Why isn't this? Oh, maybe he misspelled. Maybe he's on a mobile device, because mobile device, when you can't, it doesn't auto-populate the name for you.
That's
Zavi says try to use the last version of CPU-Z. The latest version, I guess he means.
Yeah, what version are you running?
Checking, because I very possibly have not updated it. Down at the bottom, version 1.8.0.
Oh God, yeah, you're out of date. That's why it's not working.
Oh, all right.
It's at 2 point something.
All right. So let's go get the new version.
Yeah, 2.01.
It's quite possible that I might have the newer version actually in my tools folder, because that place that I'm getting from is a little bit, or can be, out of date. But no, I'm just going to go get the freshest one, because it's not something I use often enough to be very concerned about. CPU-Z, I think. CPU ID. Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds familiar. And this download button is an advertisement.
There's a special one for your motherboard, the Asus ROG one.
All right. This looks like custom versions right in here.
Yeah, see the ROG one right there, Asus.
Yeah. Now there's a button for setup and there's a button for zip. Sounds to me like setup is an install and zip might be portable.
Yes.
Zip is portable.
All right. Start down. That says advertisement. This is an advertisement here. Suckers.
All you guys who don't run with ad blockers, what's wrong with you?
Now, I think it's done the download. I think it's working on the download. Or no, it took me to a different screen. So I had to bounce out of that. Now, I think I probably have the ad blocker here and it's just turned off right now. Do I? No, I don't. Manage extensions. Is it in here? Chrome app. Yeah, uBlock Origin. It's here. Remove. I'll turn on. And then come back.
Reload the page. There you go.
And here's a download button. The ads are gone right now, aren't they?
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
this. Yeah, it looks like it.
Without even reloading. Then I'll show in folder. And I'll cut from there. Go to resource files.
Yep, that's the ROG
CPUZ.
version. Yeah.
Okay. Delete those. Right click, paste. Right click, extract all. And I'm going to change that folder because I want it to not be in a subfolder. I want it to extract into the current folder. And I don't need to show extracted files incomplete because I'm already on the window that's going to show those files. So there they are. I'm going to delete the zip file and then launch it. You can see it's already synchronizing to my OneDrive, which means it'll be available on my other computers. Okay. Then we'll go to that memory tab. There we go. More better. 32 gigabytes. Frequency 1462. Is that what we're expecting to see for DRAM
Yes.
frequency?
Yes, because it's double data rate. It times it by 2.
Oh, okay. All right. I've known that in the past, or that rings a bell of familiarity, but I'm not frequently enough.
So that's close to 2933 when you double it.
Yeah, okay.
Close enough for government work.
And I'm seeing a core speed of the CPU, 4.7 gigahertz. It's actually showing us 4789.4 megahertz.
And the speed tab should work now.
Speed tab.
Yep, SPD.
Oh.
There
Okay.
you go.
So this is showing slot 1.
And you probably have, well, I don't know. Has it got memory modules and everything, or just 2 of them?
There's 2 slots. This is Baby Beast, which is a micro.
Okay, it's a
ITX.
micro board. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. So
So
2
there you go.
slots, 16 gigabytes each. Catching up with chat. You need to update to the current. Memory may be limited by silicon lottery, just like some CPUs fall short of their stated max speed of the motherboard bus itself. I'm familiar with silicon lottery as a term. Their keyboard, refresh after turning on extension. What was that? Refresh after turning on extension. I'm not sure what that refers to. That is higher, was 3 gigahertz boosting to 3.6. So are you referring to memory speed?
Yeah, I think when you were actually on the memory tab itself, I think, but I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Back to the memory tab.
No, yeah, okay.
SPD shows each memory stick separately, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Now the DRAM frequency in that middle box at 1462.7. Doubling that is under 3000.
It's 2933 approximately.
Yeah. All right. Doing a little bit of math in my head. I can't do a whole lot of it while I'm live streaming for some reason. I do better with math in my head when I'm not live streaming. Somehow I have these multiple threads. Streaming, monitoring, chat, Zoom. All right. I'm kind of running out of interest.
Just
Like
now?
Like I've gone far enough on this. Are you saying, Ken, that we lost you a while ago?
Oh gosh, you lost me back at when Jim said something about I don't do it for customers. I before that even. My philosophy is if the computer's up and running, why do you want to tinker with something that may or may not help it?
Computer enthusiast.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the only-
Normals wouldn't care. Normals would not care.
Normals wouldn't care.
oh, that's a
And
compliment. I'm being called normal. I like this.
a
Well,
perfect.
XMP gives you a modest bit of overclocking that's pretty likely to work without having to tweak individual stuff.
What I am curious about as a professional computer technician is to experiment with changing the settings and see on a user's computer and see if they call me and say, "What'd you do to my computer? It's running quicker." If I can make that kind of a difference to them, then I do want to pay more attention to this. I don't think it's going to happen.
Most
Same way
people
Jim was
will
just
never
shaking
see
his
that.
head, and that and testament to me not expecting a change there is that it's taken me this long to go poking around in that area. And I would not be doing it if I weren't doing a YouTube video that I thought might be of interest to people.
Right.
Question?
I mean, it's just not. The only times I've ever had anybody notice anything I've done to their computer is usually when they've gone from a mechanical drive to a solid state drive.
Now,
It's about the only time I've ever seen anybody say, "Jesus, this thing's fast."
I'm going to read a text message to you that I got recently from a client that gives another instance of that. And let's get to see if I get it here. I have scroll down.
Only
All right,
only
here.
enthusiasts like us would even notice a change whether something has XMP on or not. Normals
Yeah.
just wouldn't.
Let's see if I can actually bring this on the screen. I don't know if that'll.
Down a little bit.
I want to show the bottom of the phone. I don't want to show
okay.
the top because that's going to identify someone.
It's washed out. Yeah.
Password is 6. Can you lower that just a little?
Now it's actually a little too dark. That's weird. There we go.
There.
Oh, it just blanked out. Yeah.
All right, this is going to work.
Okay. There we go.
Give it a minute.
Yeah, I gotta wait for it to frickin' focus or something. There we go. Frickin' like a 18-year-old. Okay.
Yeah. He says my computer is working like an 18-year-old, fast. And then a few messages above that, he says my laptop on my office desk is working slow or different again? ? Maybe I should have you take it and clean it up. And then I said, sure, but have you tried restarting it first? Let me fix that focus there.
Yeah, focus is there. You go. Have you seen? Yeah. Have you restarted it? Yeah. You'd be surprised how often that clears things up.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I do have a question.
Well, let me finish this first.
Okay.
I'm not done yet. Let's see. Okay, so then his response to that. I did that before and it didn't change anything. You saw something in the bottom that needed to be updated, so I did it. And the computer restarted, still slow and jerky. So I then connected remotely to his computer with him on the phone. And I went into, now keep in mind, I asked him, have you restarted it? And his response was, I did that before. Was his response, right? So let me demonstrate. Let's see, wrong keyboard. Yeah, over here. I brought up Task Manager, and on Performance tab shows uptime. Here's seconds, minutes. No, yeah, seconds, minutes, hours, and days. his showed that it's been up for 6 days. So he's texting me saying it's slow. I say, have you restarted? He said, yeah, I did that. Well, it was 6 days ago. So I had him restart it, and it was better, but not good enough. And I'm still connected remotely. So then I see that he's got Dropbox. Did you use Dropbox? I don't know what he says. I don't know what it is. So I turn that off. And what was it? There were 2 other things running in the background. I don't remember what they were.
Either OneDrive or Google Drive or something of that nature.
Well, the OneDrive we need on his, because it synchronizes his files between his computers. So we do want that. There were a couple other utilities running in the background. I'm not remembering what they were, but anyway, he did not need them. So I disabled or uninstalled them, restarted the computer, and that's when he responded with it working like an 18-year-old. So in response to Jim's comment, the only thing he's been able to do that has shown a difference was the SSD. Yes, that can work. Now, I've had also times when I've installed an SSD over a spinning hard drive without telling them. I call them a week later. Is your computer running better? No. Did you notice any difference? No. But then sometimes people do notice a difference. So that's a crapshoot whether they're going to notice a difference. But turning off things in the background, particularly on a computer that used to be performing better, that can be very effective.
Oh yeah, I love the ones that bring me machines that are running so slow. And no, I in these cases, very similar to you. It wasn't that I did the SSD replacement. It was that I took out I took out Norton, which never had a subscription. I took out McAfee, which was running at the same time with no subscription.
Right.
And God knows how many other things I just looked at and I'm going, no.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's made a significant difference.
Right.
But it amazes me how many machines I see. Also, those machines normally have something crawling around in them in the first place, because Norton doesn't have a subscription, neither does McAfee, and they're fighting each other. And
Yeah.
Cracks me up.
Then there's also am I not able to change? Oh,
Don't have to.
Don't have to. Yeah, if you notice somebody pop out, I need somebody else to come back in. Have I said hello to everybody that's here? Yeah, I have.
I believe so. But yeah, I mean, it's funny. I get them all the time. I get people who like, this machine's running so slow. I'm getting all these pop-up stuff, yada, 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 yada. And usually, at least in the past, they've had a common theme. One, Norton or McAfee, or sometimes both, are installed with subscriptions that expired 3 years ago. Yes, Ken?
Arm was getting tired. Other than specific uses, when you do all these changes, is the most, a user like myself, am I going to notice it? Overall, probably not. In DaVinci Resolve, I might see it's a little faster. Is that what the basic premise is?
Well, particularly for rendering in DaVinci Resolve, but as far as doing your configuration in DaVinci, probably not.
But the overall usage of the computer, the average person is not going to notice any difference if you make these settings.
Usually not.
Okay.
Usually not, because my average users, they're doing some web interactions. They're using maybe some form of a specialty database program, maybe of course word processing. Some of them spreadsheets, email.
Okay.
Yeah, but the places when they tell me that something's slow, I'll connect remotely to their computer or go to their desk, and I say, show me what's slow. Show me something slow, because they keep wanting to say, well, it's just slow. Okay, what is slow? Show me slow. Well, it's just slow. Well, when I click on things, it takes a long time. Well, show me. And then they'll try to show me, and close to half of the time that they're trying to show me, it's working fine. And they say that it's working fine. And I say, well, is it only a sometimes thing? They say, energy. No, thank you. is it just a sometimes thing? And then they say, well, yeah, I guess so. But previously, before I asked them to show me, they say it's all the time. It's slow all the time. Well, when what are you doing when it's slow? Well, it's slow all the time. Show me slow. They try to show me slow. It's not slow. Okay, so what are you doing when it is slow? Okay, next time you see something that's slow, take a picture of it or call me at that time. And then what'll happen is they'll succeed in that, showing me slowness. And what happens is they'll click a menu option in a law office program, for instance, and it takes 3 or 4 seconds for the next window to pop up when it should be pretty instantaneous. And then I can narrow in on what's causing the trouble and typically find it and fix it. And it's usually something running in the background. Sometimes it's an orange or red dot down in the system tray, an update waiting to install, saying you need to restart. So typically first thing, it's sluggish. Is there an orange dot down there? And oftentimes, yes, there is. That means you need to restart your computer, finish installing an update. It will be sluggish until you do that. And many of them I have said this over and over. And this is in part why I structured my business, that when they call me like that, I start a time slip on my other screen and it records the time that I start. When we're done. They might get a bill for 5 minutes. Because if you have that happening over and over and over, and the manager of the office never sees that, they don't realize that people aren't paying attention. And I have had clients who were tightwads who would read my invoices, and if they see that their staff is calling and being told to restart their computer, because I put it in the on the time slip. So and so called, computer sluggish. Advise them to restart the computer. Problem resolved. So they see that on my invoice. They see they got charged for that. They see their staff member was frustrated in putting up with this. So like in their next performance review, by the way, you really need to restart your computer.
Yeah, there you
Instead
go.
of before you call Doug. And I have many people that I'll tell them to have you restart your computer. They restart it, it's fixed. Oh, you've told me that before. I'm sorry. I will try to remember to restart the computer before I call you.
No, and they don't.
Yeah, and but that's why I bill them.
That's it.
And,
More money, more money, more money.
Well, it's not very much money, of course. But here's another advantage of that is when they see that they get charged 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever it is, and they see that they're getting charged for the time they use. When we run into a problem that's more difficult for me to solve, and my write-up isn't, I still try to keep it to 1 or 2 sentences if it was 3.5 hours of time. And I'll give a very high-level explanation of what I was working on and that there was difficulty involved in it. But when they get a 3.5-hour bill for 2 sentences, they don't question me about it. They trust me because they know that they're just getting charged for the time that they use. So
Another question.
yes, Ken.
We have a Zoomer, I won't mention great guy's name, but every time he tries to load a background in, it freezes him and locks him out, and he has to restart Zoom to come back in. Any thoughts on that?
Yes, thank you for mentioning that, because I did see that on the
I'll bill
portion
you.
of your video that I saw. My request, what I'd love to do on that is I could either connect remote and do it, or if he's comfortable with doing this himself, he can just do it and send me an attachment by email. What I want him to do is to launch Process Monitor and be ready to try to trigger that symptom, then start the monitoring, trigger the symptom, and then stop the monitoring, save that as a file, send it to me as an attachment. I'm going to compare it. I want to compare it on my own computer doing the same function, the same action, and see if that gives us a clue what's going on. I very much want the opportunity to do that because, as it's been obvious, I've been trying to find the Holy Grail for tracking down problems, and the Holy Grail I'm defining as an intelligent way to find the source of the trouble instead of throwing mud. So is Greg with us in chat? I don't recall.
I think he was earlier. I don't know if he is now or not.
Yeah. So either way, I can connect remotely and do that, or you guys can work with that through the Ken Stout live show if you want to, and just send me the attachment. Either way is absolutely fine with me.
Greg is there. He says that. He says, "Oh, you can read your own chat."
Do it now. Need Zoom credentials. Yeah, let's do it now then. And
oh yeah, can you do it now, Doug? Do you have time?
Absolutely.
There you go.
I'll
bill you
because we're under 2 hours right now, and this shouldn't take long.
By 9 minutes, you're under 2 hours.
Let's see what send in the credentials, Zoom credentials. Yeah. Is that Ken leaning forward to do it?
I was just seeing what Jim was looking at in his ocean. I'm seeing if I can see it in my ocean.
Oh,
I don't.
Copy invitation.
There's a fin sticking out over the water behind you.
Josh?
No, we were referring to Greg Guy's Zoom issues. When he puts a background on or a background picture on it, it locks him up.
Okay,
and
never
freezes him.
mind.
No, Josh said he's gone for the day because his iPhone can't send enough of the hotspot power to his iPad or something like that. I didn't
Yeah,
quite.
that's what he was telling me.
Okay, so you got the same message.
So I found an email address that is gregguy at, I'm not going to say the domain name because I don't know if he's public with it, but Greg, can you confirm in chat that your email name is gregguy at something or other? You don't need to fill that out. Let's see. Or Ken, do you know the answer to that?
What's that?
That his email address starts with Greg Guy?
I believe it does, yes.
All right. Ryan's asking, who is the gentleman with 2 little kids in the background? That would be Jeff Ryman. And his name's on the screen. It's so tiny they can't see it. All right, sending the email, Greg. And then I've got to get Baby Beast reconfigured a little bit so that I can see it on this monitor. Because right now I can only see it through the capture card. And that, well, I don't know. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try doing it without connecting the monitor. Deleted files removed from everywhere. Oh yeah, that's because I deleted those CPU Z files. And then close that. While we're waiting for Greg to come in, I'm going to launch Log Me and Rescue. All right, Ken, you got to spill it. What are you laughing at?
I think Jim's laughing at the same thing I'm laughing at.
Yeah,
Somebody wants to know whose ocean is better.
Oh, I didn't get to that one yet.
I'm connected.
All right, you got to spill it. What are you laughing at?
I think Jim's laughing at the same thing. And Greg, good job. You didn't turn your volume down on Doug's too. I am so happy.
Get to that one.
I'm connected.
How long is it going to take for him to get to it?
Oh, hours.
No, I think he just got to it.
I know, I'm kidding.
All right. Oh, let me get, before I forget, Ken, I'm on the same page of you. Let's not do any more explorations with your Windows Update thing until the next month goes by.
Sure.
And then I think if you have trouble, then we'll just have you, I'd like you to do what I was suggesting about disconnecting all your extra stuff. See if
Hi, Greg.
fixes it.
Hey, Ken, how you doing?
Good. I'll send you the bill for reminding Doug to log into you.
Yeah,
I concur, Doug. I think that's, we'll just, hopefully let's see what happens and go from
part
there.
of the reason how I came to that conclusion, I think before I even heard you were of that persuasion, was I asked myself, does tinkering around with that more now get me any closer to the Holy Grail The holy grail for fixing Windows Update problems is something that helps us to make a more intelligent choice of what to do, because the fix that eventually worked for you of performing the Windows 10 upgrade on top of the existing upgrade while not connected to the internet, that's what fixed it for you.
Yep.
That is throwing mud at the wall. Because we didn't have any good intelligent reason to suspect that. It's just one of the many, many things that have been known to fix it. Although it wasn't on my OneNote list then, it is now. Now, yes, it was mud, but it was good quality mud. You know, the kind that's packable and it's moist enough that it will stick on the wall. It's important to identify the quality of the mud. I seriously, I'm going to put a button on my Stream Deck that has a recording of one of Jim's good, strong belly laughs when I don't.
Yeah,
get to
I have
laugh
that
at it.
downloaded. I just haven't
Hoping
figured
you
out how
get
to do it yet.
Let's see. Dennis, it's been 18-minute trying again, referring to ad block extension. When you turn it on, you need to refresh. Well, I didn't refresh and the ads were gone. So I don't, weren't they gone?
Looks like they were gone to me.
Yeah,
I
they
can
were
tell you
gone
how to
with-
get that working tonight, Ken.
Pardon?
I can tell you how to get that working tonight, Ken.
Okay.
He's referring to the laugh button, if anyone didn't keep up with that.
Yeah, I was lost for a minute because I thought he was talking about the macro and reflect thing we're going to do in the beginning of the stream. But okay.
Yeah. Well, your show drives me a little nuts sometimes with the people stepping on each other and changing subjects from one.
I've never noticed that, Doug. What are you saying?
I mean, I'll hear somebody on your channel start describing something, and they pause between words, and somebody else thinks they're done with their thought because they're not paying attention.
Well,
and
you
they
see
start
more.
talking.
You see more than I do because most of the time, if I say 2 words, 5 people start talking. Like whatever.
Yeah, and I think, man, I hope he gets back to finish that sentence because I want to know what he was going to say. All right, rant is over.
Well, by the way, thank you for the shameless plug again.
Yes, you're welcome.
Everybody, be sure to watch DougBetts live Windows training every Saturday afternoon at what time do you start your time? 11?
11 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah.
See, this is a group effort plug for your show.
All right. To the people who are watching my show.
I was wondering when you would catch on to that.
I got that right away. What is he doing? You did not change the frequency to auto, so you will only get 2933. Well, it was on auto when we started, and we were getting 2133. So I'm not sure what that.
Well, he and I were discussing it. I told him you had said XMP, and he said, no, you didn't.
Really?
So I'm not going to argue about it.
All right. Going back to look at my picture. Let's see. Yeah, so here's the picture of the things that were changed when I was restarting. The very first one at the top there says AI overclock tuner was auto, now XMP1. The next one is ASUS performance enhancement was disabled, now enabled. Then DRAM frequency was auto, now 2933. DRAM CAS latency was auto, now 16. DRAM RAS to CAS delay was auto, now 18. DRAM RAS act time was auto, now 38. DRAM voltage was auto, now 1.35 volts. RC render standby was enabled, now disabled. So this says AI overclock tuner was auto, now XMP1.
Doug, when you tried the XMPs, both XMP1 and 2 gave the same results, did they not?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, even when I went from auto to XMP2.
I still find it
the same
interesting that even on the 2, it set it to 2933 instead of 3000, which the website said it would. But...
Well, no, the website did not say that it would change to that.
Well, it said that it was tested at 3000.
Yes, that's
Put
my
it
point.
that way.
That's all
Yeah.
it said was it tested. That didn't say
Yeah.
that's what it was programmed to change to.
Right, you're correct.
All right. And I'm suspecting that misunderstanding was because I did change back and forth, and he might have missed the last change.
Well, let's hurry up and freeze Greg here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Greg would like to demonstrate, that way you'll have an idea.
Oh, yes. You're going to share your, well, let's see, sharing screen. I'm having a little difficulty with sharing screen. Let's try it. Greg, go ahead and share
Well, if
your
you
screen.
just watch him, you'll see it freeze.
Oh, but I'm not seeing what he's doing.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fixing that. Whiteboard share. Shares, allow participants to share screen. Okay, that's ready. Let me fix things here. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's turn that picture off there. Okay, and then how do I make that? Oh, we're actually seeing you're displaying the stream. Okay, so Greg, what you're gonna, bring Zoom up so that we're not watching YouTube off of your screen. I don't.
All it's giving me is meeting controls.
This is very weird.
Let me right click. Now it brings up the start box where it says the time and date, return to a meeting, join a meeting.
I'm taking your screen off the projection until we get this worked out. So the problem, if I understand, was when you go into Zoom and change your background to
I can do that. I can do that now. Can you see it?
Well, you got to stop sharing your screen for me.
Yeah, there. I think he's right there.
There we go.
Yeah, if I put this one in, it'll change it. You'll see it in about 6 seconds. I'll freeze. And it's there. Zoom quit unexpectedly.
Hang on a second, because that's not showing up on the video. Let me get here. This does it. All right. And one more button here. Turn that off. Okay. So then does he still hear us? Greg, do you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Zoom quit unexpectedly, but I'm still hearing you. You're still interacting with us through Zoom.
Yeah, and if I just click don't send, I can still hear you, you can still hear me, but my video is frozen.
Okay, so do the don't send.
Okay.
Now, what do you have to do to get unfrozen? Can you change back to none background?
I have to go to none now.
Okay.
And
okay.
The latest version, 5.11.3 that everybody else has got.
All right.
And
so
I did an uninstall, removed all the registry entries, and then rebooted, then downloaded 5.11.3, and it did the same thing.
All right. So what you do is select any of those backgrounds, and that's when that happens, right?
Right.
Okay. Then does it also occur with the blur?
I haven't changed it. Let me try it. Guess I'm still moving my hand.
1.
No.
And there it goes.
Okay.
That's weird.
Don't send. So I'd like to connect to your computer remotely. And do you already have sys internals on your computer?
I'm sure I do.
Okay. Well, you could just go into the sys internals folder and bring up process monitor x64. Or I can connect remotely and do it. So you go ahead.
Whatever you want to
find that. I'm working to get my log me and rescue up and running. Let's see, I waited too long on this, so I've got to reopen it.
Systems information cleanup.
Oh, I know the problem. All right. Okay, send me notification. Yeah. Let's do this. Send a notification, goes to my phone. I accept the request. All right.
I got a dumb question.
All right, go ahead.
Greg, is there any camera driver software that you're using? Have you tried reinstalling that?
No.
I got a dumb question on top of Jeff's or Jim's dumb question.
All right.
Would the camera software have an effect on the Zoom application itself?
If they're fighting each other, yes.
It never did before.
I learned something.
Did you have this problem with the previous version of Zoom?
No,
511.1?
511.1, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a dumb question too.
No, wait a minute. You have to preference that, right? You have to say, I have a dumb question on top of Ken's dumb question on top of Jim's dumb question.
I
John-
want to move over my second monitor.
Josh, that's not on point. You're taking
Yeah,
us off
let's
of
get the Zoom deal
the
fixed.
subject. I'm not interested in being distracted to a different issue. We're on this issue now.
And I have a headache.
I'm having a migraine. We're sharing screens.
Okay. All right. Al. Greg, can you minimize your browser there? Looks like you have your browser open. Can you minimize that and keep just Zoom? I'm just trying to reduce the amount of clutter so we can focus on the task at hand.
All right.
Oh, actually, that's you're good. Allow. Let's see. You're good. Are you? Oh, gee, what I'm broadcasting is frozen. Punch around some buttons here. Okay, now we're back. Now we're not.
Now we're back.
I think, I'm broadcasting that monitor rather than Zoom. All right. So, did you find sysinternals, Greg, on your computer?
I went to start and typed in SYS and that's all I got.
No.
Information,
All right,
cleanup,
so
chrono.
Let's
Under Windows accessories or tools.
No, you have to download it. It doesn't come with Windows.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm working on getting connected. Okay, is there an icon on your desktop called DougBetts Remote?
Oh, I don't see it.
Okay, then let's have you go to the website logmein123.com.
All right. Right there.
No, you didn't do what I asked. Click in the address bar and type the address logmein123.com. The search results are not a good way to go in this case. Okay, then it's asking you for a 6-digit PIN code. The code is
okay.
106120.
Close.
20. Click start download.
Yes.
Open it, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Got the chat box.
Okay. Waiting for a ding on my side. Drag this down a little bit. We see that its connection is started. It says waiting. So now I right click and choose start. And then Greg doesn't have a message yet. Next, I need to launch remote control session. And Greg sees this
Click
message.
OK.
Click OK. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to my computer. And here I'm seeing Greg's screen on my computer. I'll click full screen. And then I am controlling Greg's computer
Okay.
now.
You're in the driver's seat.
Okay, so then I'm going to open a new tab and type sys internals, enter. And here's Microsoft sysinternals suite. Either of those, the first one or the second one will get us there. Download sysinternals suite. And it's just the first one is what we want. This is downloading from Microsoft. And here it is completed. Let's go. Do you have a location on your computer that you'd prefer to store that?
It goes to downloads.
Well, there's a bunch of files when we extract it.
Wherever you want to put it, that's fine. Not too sure what it is.
All right. So here's downloads. I'm going to sort these, but well, we don't even have the date column there. I'll just type SYS. That should get us. Oh, this is showing us inside the zip file. I wonder if I can run that from inside the zip file.
I wouldn't try it.
Yeah, but you didn't complete that sentence. You should have said, I wouldn't try it if I were you. And I respond, I'm not you.
Yeah. You're such a Doug. We know this.
Yeah. So here's process monitor. Double click on it. No, it wants to extract first. That really seems sensible. There are some things I've been able to do inside of zip files. So
yeah, but usually not something that's got that many files.
That's true. That's true. That was highly likely. Where I typically put files like this, and where I would look for it on your computer, where I had to connect again, would be what do I call that folder?
Sysinternals.
Sysinternals?
SW setup. And this could collect other things as well. That's software setup. And so then I'll right click inside that folder and paste, and then right click on that zip file and choose extract all. And so now it's going to by default create a folder inside SW setup called sysinternal suite, which makes a whole lot of sense. Wintermute knew what I call that folder, SW setup, he says in chat.
He's the man.
Yeah.
That's what HP labels their stuff when you download files.
Yeah, that's how I got started with that. And I use that on computers that are not HP, and I'm concerned sometimes that the computer might, have a real hissy fit over it. Let's see, you could have told him to pull a power plug, better surfing. Let's see. This is chit chat. Kenny, is there any way to stop Windows 11 widgets from opening on hovering? Yeah, right click and find the widget settings and remove the check mark that says open on hovering. If he's referring to the ones that show up in the taskbar, just go down anywhere on the taskbar, right click, come up to news and interest, and over here where it says open on hover. See, I have it turned off, so those options are grayed out. But remove the open on hover. If you don't want it at all, then remove that check mark. Now he's asking for Windows 11, and I'm showing this on Windows 10, but I think it's the same technique, Windows 11. Might be wrong. I'm trying to catch up with chat. So I'm just looking at Orange. Speedy C, since joining your channel, I've not missed your Saturday streams. Thank you, Speedy C. That's a good thing to hear. These are probably, I'm not sure whose these were targeted at, but I'm going to pass over them because I'm trying to get through this quickly. So if you want me to read something you put in, please hit me in orange. You may be able to rename SW setup on sysinternals for HP users. I don't quite follow that, Chris. Is he still in stream with us on Zoom? Yeah, he is. I don't know why you're saying that. That's on Windows 11, does not have that feature. All right. So
If
I
people
can't.
have an HP, it won't get confused. You know, they won't get confused which one is right.
But
Which one?
HP likes to have SW setup. So why would we want to change away from SW
I'm talking about.
setup?
I'm talking about sysinternals. Rename it
well,
when you do it sysinternals.
no, I just put sysinternals inside that folder. I'm not using SW setup as the name of the folder that contains sysinternals.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're
I'm
misunderstanding.
confused.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
Yeah, I think you are. I just put anything utilities type in the SW setup folder, including whatever HP computers put there. So I force HP to share that area. So if you don't understand that, let's just move on. So we're going to delete the zip file and then go into sysinternal suite and then go to process monitor. I'll just click on one of these and then type PR instead of scrolling to it. Procmon 64. I just double clicked without doing open as administrator just to annoy some of you. And I'll maximize that. And so this capture right now, it's automatically capturing. Down here at the bottom, we see it's up to 297,000 items captured. I'm going to turn off the capture by clicking on that. And then I'm going to click the garbage can to clear everything that's in there. And then I'll bring this down to a medium size so that it can share the screen with Zoom settings. So here's Zoom settings. Bring that up here. And then I'm going to, let's see, let me move this. Well, how about this? I'll do Windows key left arrow. And that didn't work. Click on process monitor, Windows key right arrow. That didn't work. All right, so I'll just drag them around where I want them. So here's process monitor on the right screen and on the left side of the ring. In the red boxer shorts or shirt, boxing shorts, is Zoom. So what we're going to do is we'll click on this guy right here just after I start the capturing. So here's capturing started. Click on the background, wait a few seconds.
I never noticed that hourglass before.
And then stop. I didn't even notice the hourglass because I was on the job. Was there an hourglass?
Yeah, right next to the mouse. Big blue one.
Okay, I'm going to watch for that again. The capturing is turned off at the moment. I'm going to click on that. Oh, there's the hourglass. Yeah.
I've never noticed that before.
Yeah. All right. So that is accomplished. I got to go back to no background. Just get that to stop. Still happening. Gonna come back again or not? All right. Oh, that's interesting. The Zoom window forces its presence on top of everything else.
Yes, it does.
So then I'll save that. I'm going to keep dragging it to the wrong place. I'm going to save all the events that were captured during that time, not just the ones that were filtered. Native process monitor, yes, that's what I want. And then here it's going into sysinternals suite. I'm going to actually put it in the SW setup folder and name it log file Zoom crash. Click OK. and then come down to this icon in the taskbar, which is for log me and rescue, to bring that up. It's not coming, it's hiding behind this Zoom window. So I'm going to close that Zoom window. Here's my log me and rescue window. Then I'll click on this folder icon up here and select the file that I want to upload. It's in the SW setup. There's the file. Click open here. And now this window, this save as window, is on my computer. Then I'll go to my resources folder. I can see it. There's OneDrive. Okay, so then down to actually to Live Windows Training, and then to clients and viewers. Right click in here, create new folder called Greg Guy. And save that. Then I will look through that, study in that file later, and replicate the same process on my computer and see what happens. That's 109 megabytes in file. So that would have been difficult for you to send as an email attachment because of its size. Going back to look at chat. FYI, Zoom had an update. Doug, remain Doug. You have too many distractions today. You said mark instand. You said to mark question mark instand.
Instead of.
Oh, instead of. I said to mark question mark instead of something else.
Yeah, the other day you were saying to put question marks instead of making the orange thing.
Oh, yes. You said to mark question mark. Yes. So did somebody use that question marks that I said last week instead?
Yeah, Zavi was.
And Dennis did. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. And here, V also here. Okay, so this was what? Maybe about the update? Oh, virtual background requirements. Don't know if that's specifically about this symptom. Greg has been using virtual background requirements, so we're not really concerned about the requirements, except that this has been updated. That could make it relevant. So I'll go up here to the top and do Control F, 2 question marks, since I know at least one person did that. 25 of them. Oh my gosh. You had another update. See, you missed the run button to run from app from zip file. Missed the run button to run from app from zip file.
He was saying you could have run it from inside the zip file.
Oh, okay. Oh, that went to the 20th. 21st. Oh, because 4 question marks gets me something else. So, yeah, that was the same one. Wrong keyboard. And there. Okay. I think I'm caught up on the question marks. Zoom had an update. Yeah. Remain Doug's question mark. And orange, he's ignored several of my question marks. Yes. And please, I think the question marks are probably a good idea, but that might be challenging for me to remember that. So maybe if you hit me up in orange and remind me about question marks, if you hit me in orange and said, Doug, check the question marks, that would be enough on any particular day to get me to do that. And I know it seemed you might be asking, why do we have to do that? Can he remember? No, I did. Obviously, I didn't remember. So you can be upset with me, or you can hit me in orange and remind me. Or proof that Windows 11 work in progress. Okay.
I got to bail. I got to run and take care of Mom. So I'll see you guys tonight.
Well, I think we're done.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah, you're
You
welcome.
can.
I think we're done because we got that now. And okay, here's what I'll try for my one last thing as well. I'll get Greg out of process monitor. That was wrong mouse. That's why I dragged the whole image instead of just process monitor. I was trying to drag it to the left. To close it, minimize that. You're up to date. Oh, so Greg just got the Zoom update apparently.
No, I just was displaying that.
Oh, you were displaying that. All right. And then we'll close that folder. Close that. And then, oh, hey, now that I'm connected remotely to your computer, good, I've got control. I'm going to stop the screen share from your computer because this has caused me a problem. Stop the screen share. And it's got you. You're not on Greg's screen. We've got Greg spotlighted. So if we go to gallery on Greg's screen, now he sees gallery. Now, if I punch my Zoom button, I think it's messed up. Yeah, it's frozen. It's stuck on something previous. So if I come back to Baby Beast and back to Zoom, it's still locked up. If I right click on my settings for my Zoom window, that did not refresh it. I need some way to bring it back. I'll switch it back to the Zoom menu, then back to the Zoom meeting. That did it. That did it. And then turn on my picture-in-picture. Okay, I know how to do that fix now. All right, so people in Zoom, please say goodbye to the audience and thank you for being here.
Thank you for your help, Doug.
You're welcome. They're not going to say goodbye to your audience.
Bye.
Thank you, Josh.
So
Night,
long.
John boy.
Sayonara.
There we go. Thank you. And I'll go ahead and end the Zoom meeting and then come back to this window with my email address, taking a quick look at chat. I don't see any other oranges or question marks. I do apologize to those who put question marks in. That was you were right on point doing that. If I'm not paying attention to it, please hit me in orange. Remind me about the question marks. Just a friendly little reminder. I hope you'll do that before you get upset about it. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope that was useful. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.